All right, now we're going to start looking at just cleaning up the line work. We're going to hit this geolocation tab up here. It's highlighted. We can just see, everything's in the right, correct location. Everything seems to be falling in the right place. It'll also help us get a better idea of the shape of things so we can correct the line work. So we see here we got a curve, but there's no curve. We got a PT. And what is this? This is our PC. That's 321. Let's say 327. P1. PC begin. Alright, so this is what's wrong with this one, I believe, is the modifiers are backwards. So what we want to do here is space put the B. We want to begin the line, and then we want to tell it it's a curve. Let's see if that fixes it. You hit enter after you do that, and tell it we want to update the line work. It's going to pop up this screen here. We use our line codes. This is our stuff, the USACE, the alpha code. And we do not want to insert the survey points again. There we go. And correct mundo. Yep. So there we are. That one is fixed. So we got a PC here. This looks a little wonky. Okay. And drive SB. I believe this one is just tangent E. It's just splining that in for us. So that will just have to be there. All right, so we got a RCP here, and I don't have another end to it. Oh, here we go. Nope. SS line. So STLM means it's a storm drain line, and it's a full RCP. It looks like it should go across the road, so we may have a missing shot there. It should look like this. There's a catch basin there. Maybe that's where it goes actually. PLN RCP full. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I bet that's what's supposed to happen here. Let's see. That's 44. What we got to do is make sure the numbers are in sequential order. So we start the line and they're not in order. Then we'll go the wrong way. This is 29. It's our lowest number. And it's got an E on it for some reason. So let's go with a B. This might not be right. We'll have to verify this was a field crew, but right now, I'm going to assume that this runs down this side of this road. Need to add the STLN1 to this. Try to do that right. If we just STLN, it doesn't need a 1. And STLN1 space E makes sense. And it is a corrugated plastic pipe. I'll hit enter again, same thing, update the line work, make sure everything's right. Okay. And STLN, STLN. And did I put a 1 on that like a big dummy? Did. Okay. Alright. Take the 1 off. We don't want to just draw lines. We want to make sure that the points are correct and the line works right. That way, when we send it out, if we have to send our points, the points are correct and it's not the engineer, whoever is working off of this data, doesn't have to, if they need to know what this is. A lot of times that they'll have to look at the code and try to figure out what it is with the code. Sometimes these line types that we use they're in a file, and the engineer may not have the same line file as us. And when they bring it in, it might just be a solid line. It might not say storm drain on it. A lot of possibilities there. But all right, so we got some concrete that needs to be squared off and an overhang. So, and square buildings. This is a well house, okay. And electric meter. We got a porch and an overhang. Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now we are going to pull up our house plan that we were left. There we go. Yeah, we'll try to keep this on one page and not have to just, This looks like the side we're missing is, it's got a bump out on it. What we'll do, we'll just click on this line. Because this is a survey figure, you get a different group of options here. So edit the geometry, insert a PI, and you don't want to do that actually. It's not. Let's just do this home, and we want to make sure we're on the correct layer. So we'll click on that one, go to home, and hit make current. Okay. There's a couple ways you can make things current. One of them is with the a layer function, the command. You can click the button to make it current, or you can do this command here. LAYMCUR will make the layer current. If you have it selected, or it'll ask you to select the layer you want to make current. Since this is a house, we know everything wants to be a 90. We're going to use our polar tracking option here. We have it on 45, so sure it's turned on. Now we're going to turn snaps on, and make a polyline to the end of that. And let's see, that line is supposed to be, according to our chart, 52.7 feet. And this side is going to be 13.7. And it's got a little, looks like a fireplace there. 1, enter. And H1B1. Like there's supposed to be something else on here, but we're missing a couple of measurements. No worries. Let's go back to the I think this is 1 foot. I think this one's supposed to be 2 and 1. And there you go. Well, it looks like we did not close by a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to annotate here just to check our 90 to make sure we are good to go. And we have an 89-degree angle, so that's not what we're looking for. So let's see here. Three feet. Looks like there may be a little bit off. It's not much. So we will look at that here in a minute. But what we want to do, because we're going to have to hatch this, we need to continue this polyline on to make it closed. So when you hover over this blue grip, all the blue things are grips, also our vertex, but we're going to add a vertex, and we're going to go around to building. We're going to add vertex again. Go. We're just going to keep doing that until we have the building closed so we can hatch it. Add vertex and boom. And so we'll highlight that and we'll use our properties menu to make sure that it is a closed figure. So once we have it highlighted, because we're going to hatch it and it has to be closed, we go into this properties menu and it tells us right here in our miscellaneous that it is not closed. So we're just going to hit yes and close it back out. Now we have a closed figure. So what we want to do is go ahead and hit offset right here and offset that by 5 feet. Boom. Okay. And then we'll hit our hatch and we'll be on angle or ANSI 131. And we'll go ahead and hit the angle at like a do just 97 just for fun. Turn the transparency up to 30% so it's not so intrusive. And the scale is probably going to be about a 25 scale. All right. And down here at the bottom, you see we've got some options. We want to pick internal. So when you're looking at these options, if it's a capitalized letter, that's what you enter to pick the option. So like this one, K is the only letter that's capitalized, so K will get us pick internal. We want to draw, we got to capitalize D, that's what we would hit. And for this, we're going to hit a K. We're going to pick an internal point. And there we go. So it looks a little funny, so let's adjust our angle just a fuzz. All right. And also, we want to make sure that this is not associative, because what that means is if it would be associated with these other lines, and if we delete the line, the hatching would go away. So we want to make sure this is not highlighted. If it's like that, it's wrong. If it's not highlighted, it's right. So we'll close the hatch, take that polyline we offset, we'll delete it. And all that does is just make sure that our building is, set apart from the rest of our landscape here. A little easier to pick out. We got a propane tank. Now we got to do our overhang and our porch. So same thing, we'll hit porch, and we are going to make the porch layer current. I'm going to use that key command to do so. And now I'm hitting this. Draw my polyline, or draw a polyline. I like to just hit PL, and then enter. Hit that, and we'll use our snaps here. We want to use the perpendicular snap to make sure it's square. And if you're already in a command, if I just used the PL command, right? I hit PL and enter to start the polyline. Okay. If I've done that, if I've hit PL, the last thing I did was a polyline command, and I hit the space bar, it'll go ahead and automatically start that command again. It starts the last command that we did. So same thing, boom, hit exit. Now I have a nice square porch. Now see the overhangs the same way, so I'm going to select it, set it current, boom, polyline, and doop. There we go. Now our overhang and our porch is ready to go. So we want to go ahead and just close this out because we will be patching it as well. Maybe that will work. We want to make sure we're still on that building overhang. We want to hit the hatch pattern. It's pretty much the same thing as last time. Hit that. It's not closed. Right. So what we're going to do on this one is do a different hatch function. And we are going to draw, D for draw. See if this will work here. That, okay. And have some issues with this because if you overlap it the wrong way, it will cause you some problems. So then we'll change the angle. We know that that is a hatching, and boop, there it is. Now your overhang's hatched. And all of the anything that's outside of it, like the porch, what I do is I go ahead and exit out so you know it's not part of the main house. Choose the polyline. There you go. And an accessory. What we have back here. That looks like that's the end of the concrete that needs to be extended to the house as part of the driveway. So easy to do. Grab that survey figure and take it in at a perpendicular. That doesn't look quite right. So what we'll do is we will hit undo. Control Z will undo your last couple actions. Because that's a survey figure, it won't extend. Let's see. So we're going to add a line that will make it look better. So once again, we're going to grab that thing and we're going to make the layer current. So everything's all grouped together on the right layer. And boom. And same thing over here. Want to get rid of this middle line because we know that concrete extends into the house. All right. Now our main building looks good. This is a propane tank. We are going to want to change that to it look like a propane tank. And that there is just a survey figure, so it's not on a line. We don't want to use road outline. Propane tanks. We're going to go to put this on. Yeah, I think we'll use that for now. So propane tanks don't really have a code. We just have to put it on something that's going to give it a line weight that makes it look small. So the identification layers have a light line weight because they're made for text. So I know that'll work well. So anything that has a IDEN modifier on the end will be just fine. So we're going to make a symbol here for a propane tank. Make sure our snaps are cut off and the polar's cut off for now. We're going to give this let's say that propane tank was 1 foot wide, and we're going to copy it. And then we're going to use one of our snap functions called a tangent function, or tangent snap. And we're going to hit that if it will work. There it goes. Tangent line. And okay. Tangent. There we go. And we're going to trim out of the middle. Arc. And now we have a propane tank. We'll label that in just a minute. So it's an edge of havoc. Looks like there's a PC pad over here that they put in. We'll go ahead, and the points should show up on the correct layer. So even though it doesn't have line work there, see, and I don't know why it does this, but it does. All the HVAC stuff goes on the fence layer. But what we're going to do is we're going to drop a 2x2, which is generally what those are. Hit can't pause it, so we're just going to keep going. I'll have to call back later. All right, so now we've got this. We want to center it on the point. So what we'll do, our snaps, we're going to change it to geometric center. And when we highlight it, it gives us a couple options here. Okay, but you notice how this white, hold on, the white dot does not appear. Okay, like right now there's no white dot. Right, it won't appear in this geometric center until I touch the square. So unless you touch the square with it, it won't be there. Just keep that in mind. So center that over that. And this is another thing we'll have to verify with the field crew to make sure that's a 2x2 when they get their field notes in. Right now we don't have the field notes. This is a job they done today. Right, and on to the next thing. This is our well house. All we got to do to that is add a label. Do not hatch out the buildings because they do not. They are not. The hatching is to signify it's the main structure. The rest of this is are just sheds, and looks like we got maybe a garage of some kind. All right, so we'll look at that garage. We got a overhang here. We know we need to square that up. We're going to make that layer current and draw our line. Perpendicular. Okay. And draw a line in the back. Perpendicular. And then we know we have this cement pad here that we'll need to get some measurements on. And let's see, make that layer current. But now we're going to just put it in here for where we think it's going to be because it probably takes up this whole thing. So that there, and then when we get the measurements, we'll put that in. And then where we want to end this, we want to go ahead and put C for close, and that didn't work out because I forgot. All right, and boom, add a vertex here. And it's going to look a little wonky for a minute, but it's okay. That there. But now we have a closed cement pad there underneath the overhang, sorry. And looks like you're pretty ready to go ahead and start looking at the boundary, which I don't see any ends whatsoever. They must be in another file we don't have. All right. All right, we'll save that, start another video.